God of War, the story so far, everything you need to know. Here we go. The top video is spoiler free. I appreciate that, Kyber. Thank you for letting me know that. Forgive me if I am a little quiet during this because I'm unlocking. It makes me want to say like I'm unlocking dad mode. I don't know why I said that. What is it? What should I call it whenever I'm focused on the game or the video I'm watching? I'm like, forgive me for going. I think I'm gonna say dad mode on it. I don't know. Forgive me for being a quiet little fucking prick. Because I am going to pay attention to this shit. Okay? Locking in? Yeah, but I hate whenever I see streamers and they say, lock in, dude. Lock in, man! It's like there's a streamer vocabulary that everyone's like, I need to start saying locking in. Because that's what Queso says. And that's what everybody says. Locked in. It makes me want to say fucking... I want to say... What's the opposite of locked in? I'm going to open out. Open out. One sec, guys. Let me open out real quick. That's stupid as fuck. Locked out. Yeah, locked out. Zoned out. See, it doesn't make sense. We need our own version of saying locked in. Because I refuse to follow the masses and listen to everybody and copy everybody. Fuck that. All right, focus. That's what I'm going to say. Focus up. Engage. Engage. Okay, here we go. I hope you guys are cool with a little 15-minute video because I'm going to get the lore. Here we go. Chat, God of War lore. God of War lore because it's important. I don't want to fuck this up.
Hello and welcome to PlayStation Grenade. If you've clicked on this video, it's most likely because you're about to play the next entry in the God of War series.
Yes!
It may have been quite a while since you last played a God of War title and the story may be a bit hazy, so I thought now is a great time to get up to date on everything Kratos has been up to through his gore-filled life. So if you're ready, let's do this. Let's pick up the story when Zeus, the king of the gods, learns of a prophecy which will see him killed by a mere mortal man. The prophecy also describes the distinctive markings his murderer possesses. In fear of this marked warrior, Zeus informs his eldest children Ares and Athena, who also happen to be the god and goddess of war, and tasks them with tracking down and ending this potential threat. Whilst pillaging and destroying the land, Ares discovers a small Spartan boy with extremely distinctive birthmarks and attempts to capture him. That boy is not Kratos, it's his younger brother Deimos. Kratos tries his utmost to protect his brother, but he's no match for the god of war Ares and is bitch slapped into submission. Luckily for Kratos, Athena persuades her brother to leave Kratos.
So Ares was the god of war prior, okay? And guys, I'm locked in now. I'm sorry I said it. It's just the best way to say it. I'm locked in now. If you need my attention, scream at me in the chat. But for right now, I'm fucking nipples forward, eyes forward, ears outward, focused. Let's go.
Alive because not only is she the goddess of warfare, but she's the goddess of... Luckily for Kratos, Athena persuades her brother to leave Kratos alive because not only is she the goddess of warfare, but she's the goddess of wisdom too. So her brother agrees and Kratos is forced to watch on as his brother is taken away. Fueled by his failure to protect his younger brother, Kratos honors Deimos through a full body tattoo mimicking his brother's birthmarks. Over time, Kratos became a member of the Spartan army, hoping to one day avenge his little bro. His rage and lack of mercy saw him ascend the Spartan ranks. Eventually, he married Lysandra, and the two had a daughter named Calliope. He finally became a Spartan captain after recovering a mysterious healing element known as ambrosia in a painstaking battle with Ulrich and the barbarians. He used this ambrosia to save him.
So he became a crazy badass fucking Spartan, tattooed his body. Now, chat, I have a question, okay? In mythology, is this like properly rooted in mythology? This story, God of War, Kratos? No, man, not really. Okay. So this is kind of like using mythology as like the basis for the story. It's inspired by mythology, but it's not proper mythology. Okay. Based on, not based in. Got it. Okay, cool.
His daughter, who was moments away from death due to a plague ravishing the lands. Kratos and his thirst for war saw the Spartan army painstaking battle with Ulrich and the barbarians. He used this ambrosia to save his daughter, who was moments away from death due to a plague ravishing the lands. Kratos and his thirst for war saw the Spartan army annihilate all opposition until the day the barbarians returned, led once again by Ulrich. The barbarian hordes easily overpowered and massacred the Spartans, and all Ulrich needed to do was kill the defeated Kratos. With his final breath, Kratos called to the god of war Ares and offered his life in return for victory.
Ares! Destroy my enemies, and my life is yours.
What does that mean?
Seeing
Life
this
is
as an
yours?
opportunity to build the ultimate warrior and disciple, Ares instantly slaughters the barbarian hordes and binds Kratos to the blades of chaos, a constant reminder of his pledge to the god of war. Kratos continued to murder and pillage in the name of Ares and slowly lost his humanity. Only his love.
So Kratos pled to the god of war, Ares, and because Kratos, everyone thinks that he's a fucking badass, and I assume for good reason, probably because he is a fucking badass. But in that situation, he was getting his ass handed to him, and he's kind of like, Ares, help! Ares! Ares, help! Help! And he essentially made a contract with the god of war at that time, gave up his life. It makes me feel like it's selling the soul. Ares killed his fame. Okay, it plays slave contract, got it. He sold his soul to the devil, kind of, exactly what I was getting at.
For his wife and daughter prevented Kratos from becoming the ultimate. Only lost his humanity. Only his love for his wife and daughter prevented Kratos from becoming a reminder of his pledge to the god of war. Kratos continued to murder and pillage in the name of Ares and slowly lost his humanity. Only his love for his wife and daughter prevented Kratos from becoming the ultimate weapon of war Ares desired. So knowing this, Ares sent Kratos to destroy a temple created to honor Athena. The village oracle attempts to stop him, but consumed by rage and ambition, Kratos massacres all inhabitants. But
real quick, I'm so sorry if this is annoying. I got questions, okay? Is that okay if I ask you guys questions when I have a fucking question, or is it gonna piss everybody off for me pausing and asking shit? I want to know some stuff, okay? I got some questions. Yes, go ahead. Okay, appreciate y'all. Why did Ares, unless the questions that I ask are going to be spoilers, okay? In which case just say can't answer or it will spoil something or something like that. Why did Ares want to create a perfect warrior? So Ares was the god of war, and Ares perhaps was not the best warrior himself, but had the ability to manufacture and fabricate this fucking badass god of war, essentially. Like, why did he want to create that? He's the god of war, that's why. Just for his own gain. Watch, he feeds on war, I think. Why not? Okay, so like no real reason. It will be explained later. Okay, Ares loves war and he wanted the best warrior. Okay, that makes sense.
the final two victims will haunt him, created to honor this. Only his love for his wife and daughter prevented Kratos from becoming the ultimate weapon of war Ares desired. So knowing this, Ares sent Kratos to destroy a temple created to honor Athena. The village oracle attempts to stop him, but consumed by rage and ambition, Kratos massacres all inhabitants.
Jesus.
But the final two victims will haunt him for the rest of his life. Ares had sent Kratos, his wife and child to that temple in the hopes he would murder the only things keeping his humanity alive, and thus becoming the ultimate weapon.
Ares is
Kratos, now
fucked
devastated, finally realized he could no longer serve Ares and vows revenge for the murder of his family. The oracle curses Kratos to wear the...
He killed his... Did Kratos kill his wife and kid? And then realized what he did? He was did he know that he was killing them? Or he was just in a fucking crazy rage? He was tricked into doing it. He was tricked. So he didn't know that they were in there, and he just fucking went in there and raged out, and then found out that his wife and daughter were fucking killed. And then he vowed to get vengeance. Shit.
ashes of his murdered wife and daughter for the rest of his life, leading to his unwanted nickname, the Ghost. The Oracle curses Kratos to wear the ashes of his murdered wife and daughter for the rest of his life, leading to his unwanted nickname, the Ghost of Sparta. Upon breaking his vow to Ares, Kratos is captured and tormented by the Furies. The Furies were effectively oath keepers who punished anyone who broke a vow or promise. The three Furies kept Kratos in a dreamlike state, almost wiping his memories completely. Luckily for Kratos, Orcos, who physically holds broken promises on his body in these disgusting parasite-like tumours, saw the injustice of his pledge to Ares and assists him. The Ghost of Sparta learns the only way to be freed is to kill the three Furies, which he does with surprising ease.
Oh my god.
With the job done, Orcos reveals that Kratos must kill one last person to truly—
I guess I feel like a fucking idiot. Okay, I'm gonna tell you why. With a name like God of War, I should have imagined that it would be extraordinarily gory. But part of me, I didn't even think about it. This game is gonna be fucking crazy, dude.
Free himself from the oath, Orcos himself. As he's the son of the Furies, all the oaths were transferred over to him. Kratos, slightly reluctant, does the dirty deed.
The truth of the murder he committed, the slaughter of his wife and child, the carnage forged from his relentless ambition.
Yes, indeed, Kratos' memories fully return, and once again, he is ravaged by the death of his wife and child. Poor guy just can't catch a break. Now fueled by a desire to remove his nightmares, Kratos meets Persephone, the queen of the underworld, who offers the Ghost of Sparta a better alternative, seeing his daughter again. But that comes with a caveat: he must give up all his godlike powers, which Kratos agrees to. Kratos reunites with his daughter, but the happiness is short-lived. Persephone reveals she has unleashed Atlas, a hulking great titan who will destroy the—
Can we just take a second? I mean, jeez. My god. You know, people in society think that it's like the devil and demons are like scary looking. Nah, this is it. This is what the devil and demons look like. They are beautiful women, mass amounts of money, fortune, fame, love, adoration. Fuck.
Who will destroy the pillar that cradles the earth, killing all mankind and the gods of Olympus. Of course, Kratos can't stand for that and gives up his life with his daughter and once again goes on the warpath against Persephone and Atlas. Due to Atlas's size, Kratos opts to chain him to the upper edges of the underworld whilst he returns to finish Persephone. As she dies, her body explodes and the resulting force destroys the pillar. Luckily, Atlas is still chained into place and now holds the world on his shoulders for the rest of time. Kratos once again commits himself to serving the gods in the hopes of having his memories removed, but after a decade of servitude, he is a little pissed off to say the least, and lets the gods know.
10 years, Athena. I have faithfully served the gods for 10 years. When will you relieve me of these nightmares?
Athena hears his calls and proclaims that if Kratos can kill Ares, the god of war, she will take his nightmares away. Kratos is more than happy to oblige, gaining revenge and losing his visions are all he has ever wanted, so off he trots to Athens to face Ares and his army.
So at this point, has Kratos become even more of a badass warrior than, dude, what's his fucking name? Ares? Or is it like Ares is even, like, who's stronger? Yes, he gets better over time. You'll see. Okay, I'm interested. I'm sorry.
Kratos meets the local oracle who reveals the only way to defeat a god is through a mystical item known as Pandora's box, which so happens to be chained to another great hulking titan called Kronos. Kratos does what Kratos does and murders his way to Pandora's box, and just before he's about to open it, Ares, who feels a disturbance in the force, sorry, wrong franchise, Ares senses Kratos and hurls a pillar a few thousand miles away, impaling Kratos, almost touching distance away from the artifact he needs to kill Ares. Death is only the beginning for Kratos. After a long journey through the underworld, he gets back to Athens to finally open Pandora's box and becomes Mega Kratos, a huge version of himself, and fights Ares. Ares uses powerful memories of Kratos killing his own family to gain the edge in battle, but Kratos, driven by revenge, bests him and kills the god of war. Kratos, who has now fulfilled his vow of vengeance, once again asks for his memories to be removed, but Athena is having none of it.
No man, no god could ever forget the terrible deeds you have done.
A broken and frankly devastated Kratos takes himself to the highest mountain in all of Greece. The ghost of Sparta throws himself to his certain death, but the gods had a greater vision for his future and ascend him to another level.
You will not die this day, Kratos.
From that moment on, Kratos became...
Wait. Ares killed him. Yeah? Speared him from afar. Kratos died, ascended through the underworld and became Mega Kratos. Fucking killed Ares. And then tried to off himself. But didn't he die already? So he escaped death. They didn't explain it. You die, you go to the underworld, you can get out. Okay. Got it. So he technically died, but then came back to life. And then was going to kill himself again, stepped off, and they were like, no. We got bigger and better plans for you. Stay put.
New god of war.
Himself to his certain death, but the gods had a greater vision for his future and ascend him to another level.
You will not die this day, Kratos.
From that moment on, Kratos became
the new god of war.
Sat on his new throne, Kratos has a vision and travels to the Temple of Poseidon to seek answers. Once there, he finds his mother dying, who reveals his brother Deimos is still alive and is being held captive by Thanatos, the god of death. And with that, Kratos' mama dies. Now back in Sparta, Kratos battles his younger self and reclaims his Spartan army from the pre-God of War days. The God of War goes on yet another murder spree and locates the gateway to Death's domain.
What the fuck? Okay. Alright. There's a little timeline discontinuity. Okay, so Kratos goes back, battles his younger self, commands the Spartan army before he was the god of war as the god of war. Yeah? Yes? No. That was weirdly explained. It was his spiritual self. Yeah, that was confusing. Okay. Don't look too far into it. Okay, cool. His spiritual self. Okay, got it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. All right.
Here, we finally see Deimos, who has the sexiest beard I've seen in a long time, and once free, Deimos reveals his anger for Kratos is the only thing that kept him alive, and attempts to kill his brother. During the fight between the brothers, Thanatos takes Deimos away as he wants to be the one who kills him, but just in time, Kratos arrives and saves his brother. That becomes the catalyst for the two to work together, and the brothers take down the god of death, but at the cost of Deimos' life. Kratos once again has lost his family and carries his brother to his final resting place and ponders his actions, to which the gravedigger calls Kratos
Death, the destroyer of worlds.
The destroyer of worlds is crazy.
Athena appears once again and attempts to reward Kratos for his deeds. As he has no ties to the mortal world, after his daughter, wife, brother and mother are all dead, he can now become a full-fledged god. Kratos shocks everyone and turns down the offer and remarks,
The gods will pay for this.
With his Spartan army at his back, Kratos wages war on pretty...
That's crazy. That it's like on his journey to become the god of war, he had to do some things. And the things that he had to do to become the god of war were so fucked up that whenever he was presented with the opportunity to actually become the god of war, he's like, nah, I don't want it. I don't want that shit. Imagine how, right? That's right, yeah? Imagine how ridiculous that would be. Imagine how empty that would be for you to just experience all of that and try to go on these endeavors to become something you thought you wanted. Okay, that's a good question. Did he want to become the god of war? Did he want it at first? Because obviously he didn't want it then. Okay, so he never wanted it. So he never wanted it. Okay. But that's what he was required to do, because when he was leading the Spartan army and fighting that other fucking gargoyle bunch or whatever, he was getting his ass handed to him, and that's whenever he went to Ares, was like, yo, help us out with this, and I'll sell my soul to you. And Ares, his version of Kratos selling his soul was becoming the god of war. Kratos had to do things to become that because he sold his soul, and on the venture to create the god of war that he had to become, he had to do fucked up shit that made him be like, I don't want any of this. And then it got to a point after he killed Ares, thank God, because who knows, I don't think you could turn down being the god of war if Ares was still here, but that he's long gone. So, okay, that makes sense. Got it. I got it in my fucking brainstem, chat. You guys are doing a great job of helping me out with this, so I appreciate that. All right.
Much anyone he can to spread the glory of Sparta. The gods turns down the offer and remarks,
The gods will pay for this.
With his Spartan army at his back, Kratos wages war on pretty much anyone he can to spread the glory of Sparta. The gods watching on are becoming nervous of his actions, and Athena begs Kratos to stop before he faces the wrath of the gods. Kratos turned his back on Athena both physically and metaphorically and joins his army in Rhodes, but suddenly a portion of his powers are stolen by this mythical bird and given to the Colossus of Rhodes. The two behemoths battle on, and out of nowhere the king of the gods, Zeus, throws down the blades of Olympus, the most powerful weapon in existence. The only downside is that Kratos must infuse his last remaining godly powers into the weapon to defeat the Colossus of Rhodes. It worked surprisingly well, and as he defeats the Colossus, the flailing arm crushes Kratos, causing him to drop the sword. Kratos is now moments away from death and must regain the sword to become his immortal self again. Lo and behold, the mythical bird flying around was in fact Zeus, who reveals this whole thing was a trick to kill Kratos. So Zeus shoves the sword straight through Kratos, killing him. Of course, in Greek myth, death doesn't really mean much, and as Kratos is pulled into the underworld, so Zeus shoves the sword straight.
Why did Zeus want to kill him? Why did Zeus want to kill Kratos? I thought that Zeus was like a nice type of dude. Spoiler. Okay. All right. I'm not going to look at chat because I feel like people are going to answer that. I'm not going to look at chat for a little bit. Okay. Why is Zeus a pompous fucking arrogant asshole that wanted to kill Kratos? We will find out. What a dick. So I think. Could be wrong. Maybe there was good reason. I don't know.
Through Kratos, killing him. And was in fact Zeus, who reveals this whole thing was a trick to kill Kratos. So Zeus shoves the sword straight through Kratos, killing him. Of course, in Greek myth, death doesn't really mean much, and as Kratos is pulled into the underworld, he is rescued by another titan, Gaia. Gaia and Kratos hatch a plot to defeat Zeus by using the Loom of Fate, which effectively is a time machine. He ventures to the island of creation and defeats countless foes and finally locates the loom and attempts to change his fate.
It's like
Arriving back in time at the moment he was killed by Zeus, Kratos takes the blade of Olympus and the two fight to the death. Just as Kratos is about to land the killing blow, Athena jumps in the way and is killed by Kratos. In her last words, she reveals,
Zeus is Olympus.
meaning that if Zeus dies, Olympus will fall and all the gods will perish. But
dude, this is too much. Maybe I should have played a different game. I don't know if I'm ready for the emotional fucking storytelling of this, dude. Kratos killed his wife and daughter. He didn't want them to die. And then he kills Athena. Doesn't want her to die. The person that he wants dead is Zeus, and if he kills them, all the other gods die. Jesus Christ. Okay. Should have thought about the storyline before I just said, yeah, I'll play God of War.
she isn't done there.
No son should destroy his own father.
Yeah, if Zeus dies, Olympus will fall and all the gods will perish. But she isn't done there.
No son should destroy his own father.
Yeah, Kratos is the son of Zeus. Who'd have thunk it?
No.
What? why? I'm gonna ask the same question because I have to ask it. It's my thought process, chat. You're here for it. Why would Zeus want to kill his own son? I know the answer is a spoiler, but unless Kratos was becoming so powerful that there's some chance that perhaps he would grow more powerful than Zeus, maybe overthrow Zeus. I don't know, I'm spitballing here. And maybe Zeus has a bit of an ego issue and was like, I can't be dethroned. I'm going to kill my own son, who will probably become more powerful than me. I don't know.
I have no father.
Kratos is not flustered by the revelations and once again uses the Loom of Fate to build his army, filling it with titans from the past. A huge war breaks out as the titans attempt to climb Mount Olympus. A key battle is won when Gaia and Kratos defeat Poseidon, but actually flood the entire world in the process. Once atop of the mountain, Zeus lays in wait and knocks Gaia and Kratos to their death. Gaia manages to hold on, but refuses to help Kratos, revealing herself to be just as untrustworthy as those pesky gods. Now dead, again, Kratos is in the underworld for the 5th time, but this time he defeats Hades, the god of the underworld. Whilst here, Kratos learns how to defeat Zeus, and it's once again by using Pandora's box. But this time though, it's locked behind the flames of Olympus, which can only be extinguished by its namesake Pandora. Once Pandora is located, Kratos' humanity finally kicks in again, and he sees her like a daughter he lost. When the moment arrives for Pandora to sacrifice herself to extinguish the flames of Olympus, Kratos won't allow it. Eventually she does break free, but another god stands in her way, Zeus. Father and son Zeus and Kratos fight, which is punctuated with Pandora attempting to complete her task in life. Her last-ditch attempt is foiled by Kratos, who refuses to lose another daughter. But one final insult from his dad,
Don't fail her like you failed your family.
puts things into motion which can never be undone. After waking, Kratos opens Pandora's box to reveal, well, nothing. It's empty. This anticlimax is taken to the next level as Kratos and Zeus stand over the now ruined, flooded and destroyed world they have created.
Face me, father. It is time to end this.
That's a really cool word. He looked into the chest and it was empty. They called it an anticlimax. That's really interesting, actually. I feel like if I were to make a movie or a TV show, I would want to have an anticlimax, and I just learned that word. That's cool.
Ruined, flooded and destroyed world they have created.
Face me, father. It is time to end this. Yes, my son. It is time.
Remember Gaia? Well, she managed to hold on and finally reaches the summit again and attempts to kill both Zeus and Kratos. During the scuffle, both gods fall into Gaia's chest and fight next to her heart. In the final moments, Kratos kills both his father and Gaia by impaling their hearts simultaneously. Kratos has now defeated all the gods and all the titans. The Greek pantheon is no more. But wait, Zeus somehow transcended his body and his spirit form attempts to kill Kratos once again, using a mixture of fear, violence and those memories Kratos hates so much. But after 10 years of this living nightmare, Kratos is able to knock Zeus' spirit back into his body and then beats him to death in a lovely touching father-son moment.
God.
Athena arrives in her new ascended form and gives us one last revelation. Pandora's box did actually contain something. It contained evils such as fear, which enveloped the gods, but there was also an even more powerful weapon inside that box, and that was hope, which sounds ridiculous, but helped Kratos achieve his ambitions to defeat the gods of Olympus. Athena asks for hope to be returned to her so she could give it to mankind, but Kratos, looking at the devastation around him, refuses her offer and does this instead.
I'm sorry,
An angered Athena removes the sword and leaves Kratos to die his final death. The story isn't quite over yet though, as Kratos' body is no longer here and a trail of blood leads over the cliff edge. You could call it a cliffhanger ending. See what I did there?
Yeah, I did.
We now know that in 2018, the god of war has moved into Norse myth, in which Kratos becomes a dad again. But this time, he has a spectacular beard to protect him. Woohoo, we did it! I can't believe we got through that. I'm Adam from PlayStation Grenade. Thank you for sticking around to the bitter end. It's been an absolute pleasure. I'll see you next time.
Wow, first of all, great video. I don't know who this is. Who is this? PlayStation grenade. Wow, good job. Really well done video. Surprising how he did all this while wearing sandals. That's so funny, dude. Wow. That's crazy, chat. Crazy.